first meeting you, when did we first meet? I'm trying to remember. Was it that interview that we did?
Okay, so the first time I met you in person was 2023.
Yeah.
You were coming off the national championship,
Yep.
and LSU was playing in Vegas. You all were playing Colorado. It was the season
Yes.
opener, and
Yep.
you all lost that game. Do you remember?
I think I remember now. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I
but that was
remember.
the first time I met you in person.
Yeah.
Yes. And I remember it honestly so vividly because obviously, I have always been an Angel Reese fan, and it was really fun
My girl.
watching you during that championship run. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get to really have a real conversation with her doing this game. So yeah, I remember it. It was in 2023. Then we crossed paths briefly at like some panel event in LA, and I
Yeah.
got to meet you and take a pic. But that was the real meeting, was in Vegas.
Yeah.
You all were playing.
No, yeah, I do remember that. That was actually really fun. But I think, yeah, the only one I really remember is the panel. Like when we sat and talked a little bit on the panel, I was like, I
Yeah.
don't really, I remember a little bit of Vegas, but like not the full vivid thing.
For sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you were I just remember, and I've always had this thought about you, but you just have a unique resolve and perspective and like point of view for somebody who at the time, and of course still now, you are young, but you just have
Yeah.
always, I think, understood the world differently because I think that the world has understood you a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And it just shines through, I think, in how you treat people, your perspective, when you answer questions, and your thoughtfulness. And that was like such a big stage and big moment for somebody that, was in school figuring out what their life looked like. And you were
Yeah.
phenomenal when we did that. And so I've just always really admired the way that you attack the world, and always bring
Yeah.
yourself to it.
Well, thank you. I feel like when I look at you and see like a black woman being a reporter and you being able to network and talk to everybody worldwide, like it's like you do it for us, like the people that look like us, the people, the women and the men that look like us, and it's just like so inspiring to see someone like you. Because when I was younger, my Maryland days, I tried broadcasting, and I was like, I think I like it, but I don't know if I could do it. And sit on the sideline, and you remember all that stuff because I've shadowed Holly before, and I saw all the stuff that
Oh,
she has to
wow.
write down on the
Mhm.
side, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, there's absolutely no way I can do this. So, did you always figure yourself out like wanting to do broadcasting, like and speaking in front of what millions of people at a time?
Yes, honestly, yes. Like like when people say, "Oh my gosh, if you spoke to young you, would they even imagine you were doing what you're doing?" My answer is absolutely. Young me would actually be so mad if we didn't end up doing, exactly the thing that we wanted. But no, I've always loved people. I've always loved asking a billion questions. I enjoy being in front of the camera. I think it's really cool to, tell stories and like reach the masses of
Yeah.
people. um I've always enjoyed it. Like I used to set up a little camcorder and like ask myself questions, or like if my friends' parents would come over, I would to really be the annoying kid that had 80 billion things to say. But it absolutely paid off, and shout out to my parents for, nourishing me being a yapper, because it ultimately worked out. But yeah, I've always wanted to do this. And I would also say that to you, funny thing, you thought you weren't going to be broadcasting when you're in Maryland. Look at you now. You
I
have a
know. Look at me now,
pod.
right?
Yeah, you are in the media, my girl. And where it paid off.
Yeah. Starting from the beginning though, like what got you to where you are now? Because I feel like you don't always see the journey to get you where you are. And I've only seen you in the bright light. I've never seen your journey and understanding like where you've come from and how it started for you. So what does that look like? The younger Taylor, you're still young and fine, but don't worry.
Oh,
But
thank
like
you.
the
Tell me
young
again.
the
I'm
younger Taylor that got you to the big screens and just being able to talk to all the who's know who's the who's.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly been like it really is, I think, a lifelong journey. You're young, and you're kind of honing, your people skills, you're understanding how to speak to others, how to make other people feel good and feel seen
Yeah.
and feel heard. I think that's something that really happens when you're a child. And for me, a lot of it was treating people and talking to them the way that I wanted to be talked to and understood. And that was something that I really honed in on when I was young. And then when I went to college, um, transparently, and I say this to everybody, when I went to college and I was in journalism classes, it just came more naturally to me than the people that were in
Mm,
my class. And I realized, maybe this is something I really could do. If I dedicate
yeah,
myself to this, I can attack this field. And so I did that. My all throughout college, I covered Illinois football and basketball recruiting. I was able to break a lot of stories, make a lot of connections. And then when I graduated school, my first job was at the Big Ten Network. So I covered Big Ten athletics for two
yeah,
years. Then I moved to New York and worked at a station there for another 2 years in
yes.
VR and TNT, and now Amazon. But I think the thing that sticks out to me about every single one of those stops is I was able to make it to the next stop because of something that I decided to do. And at
Mm,
each stop, that was interviewing. And for
mm,
me, talking to people and having them sit down and be on my podcast or my show, in many ways, was a workaround to me feeling like I wasn't receiving like the assignments or the jobs that I felt like I should be getting. And so, following the thing that I wanted to do ultimately led to me progressing in my career at every step, if that makes sense. So I've always just tried to follow the thing that makes me feel the most fulfilled and purposeful.
yeah. This episode is brought to you by Price Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Price Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this basketball season on Price Picks, where it's good to be right.
I am so excited. Basketball season is back, baby. Man, I love football, but there are way fewer games. Basketball, more games throughout the week means prize pick opportunities to get you right and win. Prize Picks is so easy and simple to play. All you need to do is pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If your picks are right, you can cash in. You know me, I'm all in on Steph and his threes. I'm also looking forward to watching Cooper Flag take the league. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Steph Curry's points, 3-pointers, and assists? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup, only on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code ANGEL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code ANGEL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
All right, y'all, listen up. NBA 2K26 is out now, and this year is loaded with upgrades. Gameplay has an all-new motion engine, smoother catch and shoot, brand new My Career storyline, and more ways to rep your style on and off the court in the all-new city. They've stepped it up for the WNBA too, with new updates to My Team, which now includes current and legendary players from the W. So best believe I'll be in there repping the DMV. NBA 2K26 is available now. Ball over everything.